What do you need to be happy? Do you need a big bungalow? Or do you need a Cadillac? Or do you need 7 zeros in your bank balance? What is it that will make you happy? And supposing you have all that, is there a guarantee that you will be happy? Now, some people need the weather to be all right to be happy. But there are others who carry the weather with them. How to develop that attitude? What is it that enables some people to master their emotions and always be happy? When I first came to America, somebody said, Swamiji, let's go to the market. So I thought it would be like Karol Bagh in Delhi or Chandni Chowk. And when he took me there, I said, where is the market? There was no market, but we saw one place called TGI Fridays. I thought it's a very strange name. Then we went some other place again. I saw TGI Fridays, and then I saw it in 2 airports, TGI Fridays. And when I repeatedly saw it, my curiosity was tremendous. That how come a shopkeeper calls his shop TGI Fridays? So I asked someone. He said, Swamiji, it stands for Thank God It's Friday. Now, why? Because in USA, everybody is happy on Friday. There's the weekend to look forward to. And on Monday, he said, before lunchtime, don't call anybody because everybody's in a bad mood. Actually, the statistics reveal that there are more accidents and there are more heart attacks on Mondays than on any other day. So, agreed that people are happy on Friday. But there is a corollary to this. If TGI Fridays, then OGI Mondays. Oh God, it's Monday. That means you can only be happy for a few days and you cannot be happy for the rest of the days. What is the problem here? The problem is we are tying our happiness to external situations and circumstances. Swamiji, if my wife or my husband changes their behavior like this, then I'll be happy. If my child listens to me and gets a job or gets married, then I'll be so happy. Now these people, they need the environment to be corrected in order to be happy. Unfortunately, the environment is not in our hands. It is in nobody's hands. How many people can you correct in this world? So when they are unable to control their circumstances, they feel harassed, frustrated, and even desperate. You know, the world is not like this, so I cannot be happy. One husband and wife, they went to India. And when you go to India, you have to meet 500 relatives. So they are all of different kinds, munde, matir, bhinna. Some of them are very sour in nature. But this wife was keeping on complaining to her husband about her nanad, the husband's 4th sister. You know, today she said this to me. You know, today I smiled at her and she did not smile at me. And so on and so forth. Finally, the husband said, my dear wife, I agree she is not behaving well. You are very right. She should behave better. However, her behavior is not in my hands. And there is nothing that I can do about it. If you want peace of mind, you will have to learn to tolerate that behavior. So what he is saying is that the externals are not in our hands. Now, some people need the weather to be all right to be happy. But there are others who carry the weather with them. In other words, it doesn't matter. Every day is a Friday. How to develop that attitude? What is it that enables some people to master their emotions and always be happy? Take a look at this little 5-year-old girl. She pressed the bell of a big house, and an old stern-looking lady came out. She said, "Yes, little girl, what do you want?" The girl said, "Auntie, we are selling pencils at 5 cents a pencil. Will you buy one from me?" The lady said, "What will you do with the money?" "Oh, we are collecting for a hospital that we are building in the neighborhood for $30 million. The lady said, "Young girl, by selling a 5-pence pencil, you want to build a $30 million hospital? Isn't that a tall order?" The girl said, "No, auntie. You see that boy on the other side of the street? He's also selling pencils for 5 cents. We are in it together. It's so exciting." Now the girl is so happy just selling 5 cents pencils. What do you need to be happy? Do you need a big bungalow? Or do you need a Cadillac? Or do you need 7 zeros in your bank balance? What is it that will make you happy? And supposing you have all that, is there a guarantee that you will be happy? Actually not. It is all a matter of your attitude. These attitudes are so important. They can make heaven out of hell and hell out of heaven. There were 2 patients in the ICU of a hospital. Both were critically ill and bedridden. Since they had been there for a few days, they used to speak to each other and had established a deep bond. They had exchanged stories of their childhood, their youth, and their early marriage, and their children, and everything under the sun. The first patient's bed was close to the only window of that room. For 1 hour, he would be made to sit up, and at that time, he would look out of the window and describe the wonderful scene that he saw. There was a garden just below. It had a fountain in the center with a pool around. On the ledge of the pool, little children would come and sit and chit-chat, and old ladies would bask on the benches in the sun, and sometimes ducks would be seen waddling along in a line, and sometimes the geese would also land there. Occasionally, he would describe how a procession had come, and they had roses in the band along with them. Now, when he would describe that, the second patient would become enlivened. It was in such sharp contrast to the dreary hospital environment, with its smell of medicines and phenyl, and its vision of syringes and bottles and tubes, etc. He used to wait for the 1 hour when his friend would sit up and describe what he saw. However, one day, an evil thought entered his mind. Why does this guy get to have all the fun and not me? Why is God unfair to me in this manner? He did not have to think like that, but he did. And even if he did, he could have rejected the thought and not harbored it. But he did harbor it until it started festering within and created a wound and filled him with negativity for his friend until he started hating the sight of his friend. One night, the first patient started coughing. It was a different kind of cough, as if he was suffocating. Now, the obvious thing would have been to press the emergency bell. However, either he was in too much of discomfort or he did not think of it. So he kept gasping and suffocating. The second best thing would have been for his friend to press the emergency bell. But the friend was thinking, this guy is suffering. Very good, he deserves it. That first patient coughed a little more and then all was silent. Next morning, the medical attendants came. They saw the dead body and without a fuss they removed it. This second patient allowed a few days to go by to avoid any suspicion. And then he made a request. Can my bed be moved by the window side? They said, yes, it's empty. They moved him. He said, I am now well enough. Can I be made to sit for an hour? They said, that's a fair enough request. They helped him sit down, and after 2 weeks, he was looking out to the external world through the window. And what did he see? The second wing of the hospital. He said, what is this? They said, the way the hospital is designed to make best use of the space, it's got many wings with a little bit of gap. So when you look out, what you see is the other wing. He said, but what is it that my friend was seeing? They said that was the beauty of his own mind. That was what he chose to see. The world is the same for all of us. What is it that you want to see? The saints in this very world saw God. Jit dekhu tit sham mai hai. Now we are not in that state, but at least we can see goodness to cheer up our own thoughts. As the saying goes in English, 2 men looked out of the prison bars. One saw the mud, one saw the stars, wow. They were both in the prison. They both were looking out of the bars. The world was the same. But what they were seeing was a choice that they were making.